You're listening to the Cyberwire Network, powered by N2K.
Bad actors don't break in, they log in. Attackers use stolen credentials in nearly 9 out of 10 data breaches. And once inside, they're after one thing: your data. Varonis's AI-powered data security platform secures your data at scale. Across LaaS, SaaS, and hybrid cloud environments, join thousands of organizations who trust Varonis to keep their data safe. Get a free data risk assessment at varonis.com. Things get worse in the T-dating app breach. CISA adds 3 vulnerabilities to its Known Exploited Vulnerabilities catalog. Researchers uncover a critical flaw in Google's AI coding assistant. A Missouri health system agrees to a $9.25 million settlement over claims it used web tracking tools. Sploitlight could let attackers bypass Apple's TCC framework to steal sensitive data. Malware squeaks its way into a mouse configuration tool. Threat actors hide the Oyster backdoor in popular IT tools. The FBI nabs over $2.4 million in Bitcoin from the Chaos ransomware gang. Our guest is Jason Schultz, technical leader for Cisco Talos Security Intelligence and Research Group, to talk about their work on the security of PDF files and the unintended privacy paradox of data brokers. It's Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. I'm Dave Bittner, and this is your Cyberwire Intel Briefing. Thanks for joining us here today. It's great to have you with us. A second major data breach at women's dating safety app T exposed over 1.1 million private messages, many recent and highly sensitive. Users discussed cheating, abortions, and shared personal information like phone numbers and social handles, making real identities easy to uncover. Despite T's claim the earlier breach was from a legacy system, this new leak affected messages as recent as last week. Hackers could even send push notifications to all users. The vulnerability stemmed from users being able to access a live database using their own API keys. The first breach, involving Firebase, had already leaked selfies and IDs, now being misused on a site mocking user appearances. T says it's investigating with cybersecurity help and has contacted law enforcement. The app reportedly has 1.6 million users. CISA added 3 vulnerabilities to its Known Exploited Vulnerabilities catalog yesterday. 2 critical flaws in Cisco ISE and ISE PIC allow remote unauthenticated attackers to gain root access via crafted API requests. Rated CVSS 10, they affect multiple ISE versions with no workarounds except patching. Cisco has confirmed attempted exploits. A third flaw impacts PaperCut NG and MF print management software. CISA set an August 18th deadline for organizations to apply patches. Researchers at TraceBit uncovered a critical flaw in Google's Gemini CLI, an AI coding assistant, that could have allowed silent remote code execution. The bug, disclosed and patched before going public, stemmed from improper input validation, prompt injection, and misleading UX. Researchers tricked Gemini into exfiltrating data, including credentials, via malicious README file. The AI processed buried instructions as commands, bypassing developer scrutiny. Gemini also supports web shells, which can be exploited if commands are whitelisted. Google initially downplayed the issue, but later upgraded it to highest severity and patched it on July 25th. This incident highlights growing risks in agentic AI tools, which act with broad system access and unpredictable behavior. Privacy experts warn these systems could dangerously blur boundaries between user-facing applications and operating systems. BJC Health System in Missouri has agreed to pay up to $9.25 million to settle a lawsuit over claims it used web tracking tools that shared patients' private data without consent. The tools allegedly sent sensitive information from MyChart and other BJC websites to firms like Facebook and Google. The settlement covers patients who used the portal between June 2017 and August 2022. BJC denies wrongdoing. Eligible patients can claim $35 by October 8th, with final approval set for October 16th. A recently patched macOS flaw dubbed Sploitlight could let attackers bypass Apple's transparency, consent, and control framework to steal sensitive data. TCC restricts app access to private data, but Microsoft researchers found Spotlight plugins could be exploited to bypass these protections. Using this method, attackers could access Apple Intelligence cache data, geolocation information, search history, facial recognition metadata, and even data from other iCloud-linked devices. Though Apple patched the bug in macOS Sequoia 15.4, the researchers warned its impact is more severe than past TCC bypasses. This is due to Sploitlight's ability to quietly extract large amounts of sensitive user data using Spotlight's privileged access, putting both local and remote iCloud-linked device data at risk. Endgame Gear has confirmed malware was embedded in a recent version of their mouse configuration tool hosted on their official site from June 26 through July 9th of this year. Users who downloaded the tool during that window from the product page were infected. Other sources like the main downloads page, GitHub, and Discord provided clean versions. The company, known for high-performance gaming mice, didn't detail the breach method. Reddit users initially flagged the issue, noting suspicious differences in the installer. Since early June 2025, threat actors have been spreading the Oyster backdoor, also known as broomstick or cleanup loader, via Trojanized versions of IT tools like PuTTY and WinSCP in a sophisticated malvertising and SEO poisoning campaign. They created fake sites mimicking legitimate software portals, targeting IT pros searching for admin tools. Once victims run the fake installers, Oyster gains persistence through scheduling tasks to execute malicious DLLs. This enables remote access, reconnaissance, and further malware deployment. The campaign, active since at least 2023, has also used fake Chrome and Teams installers and may involve KeePass. In July, a malicious PuTTY installer signed with a revoked certificate was found on a fake site. While one recent infection was blocked before damage, this underscores the danger of downloading unverified software. The FBI has seized over $2.4 million in Bitcoin from the Chaos ransomware gang, initially confiscating 20.2 Bitcoin in April of this year, then valued at $1.7 million. The U.S. government is now seeking formal forfeiture, alleging the funds are tied to cybercrime, including extortion and money laundering. Chaos is believed to include former Black Suit and Royal members and has targeted a variety of sectors. This seizure aligns with a broader strategy under a March 2025 executive order to build a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve from forfeited digital assets. Coming up after the break, my conversation with Jason Schultz, technical leader for Cisco Talos Security. We're talking about their work on the security of PDF files and the unintended privacy paradox of data brokers. Compliance regulations, third-party risk, and customer security demands are all growing and changing fast. Is your manual GRC program actually slowing you down? If you're thinking there has to be something more efficient than spreadsheets, screenshots, and all those manual processes, you're right. GRC can be so much easier, and it can strengthen your security posture while actually driving revenue for your business. You know, one of the things I really like about Vanta is how it takes the heavy lifting out of your GRC program. Their trust management platform automates those key areas: compliance, internal and third-party risk, and even customer trust, so you're not buried under spreadsheets and endless manual tasks. Vanta really streamlines the way you gather and manage information across your entire business. And this isn't just theoretical. A recent IDC analysis found that compliance teams using Vanta are 129% more productive. It's a pretty impressive number. So what does it mean for you? It means you get back more time and energy to focus on what actually matters, like strengthening your security posture and scaling your business. Vanta, GRC. Just imagine how much easier trust can be. Visit vanta.com/cyber to sign up today for a free demo. That's vanta.com/cyber. Hey everybody, Dave here. I've talked about Delete Me before, and I'm still using it because it still works. It's been a few months now, and I'm just as impressed today as I was when I signed up. Delete Me keeps finding and removing my personal information from data broker sites, and they keep me updated with detailed reports, so I know exactly what's been taken down. I'm genuinely relieved knowing my privacy isn't something I have to worry about every day. The Delete Me team handles everything. It's the set it and forget it peace of mind. And it's not just for individuals. Delete Me also offers solutions for businesses, helping companies protect their employees' personal information and reduce exposure to social engineering and phishing threats. And right now, our listeners get a special deal, 20% off your Delete Me plan. Just go to joindeleteme.com/N2K and use promo code N2K at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/N2K, code N2K. Jason Schultz is technical leader for Cisco Talos Security Intelligence and Research Group. I recently caught up with him to discuss their work on the security of PDF files.
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons why PDFs are being exploited in the way that they are. One is, as you noted, it's a pretty ubiquitous file format. So you're going to find PDF readers on almost any computing device that people use today. Another reason why I believe that these things are being exploited is because even though the PDF is attached to the email, there are tricks that the email senders can use to display the PDF sort of inline in the email itself. So they don't necessarily need the victim to click on the attachment in order to view the PDF content.
That's interesting. And does the contents of a PDF typically get scanned by a security package most people have in their emails?
Absolutely. And if you look back historically, there's been a lot of incidents with malicious PDF files. But the PDF file format itself sort of provides a lot of flexibility for where content is included. I believe in the blog we noted a couple of URLs that were included as annotations in the PDF document. So there's a lot of different places for malicious actors to be able to hide some of this, link information or even, logos and things of that nature inside of the PDF file format itself, which is one of the reasons why I think they're moving towards using a lot of QR codes and the telephone-oriented attack delivery or callback phishing is because, when the email is scanned and when the PDF attachment is scanned, the PDF is actually not malicious. But of course, if you end up calling that phone number or scanning that QR code, it's going to take you somewhere else where you're either going to speak with the attacker over the telephone, or you're going to scan the QR code with your phone, and that's going to take you using a different device, using your cell phone or something like this, to an attacker-controlled website where they may be able to try to break into your phone or capture credentials that way. And of course, cellular networks are not monitored in the using all the same tools that an organization might have for their regular corporate network.
Well, let's walk through this, step by step. Let's say I'm, sitting here at my desk at work and I'm minding my own business, and this malicious email comes in. I'm browsing through my email and I open this one. What am I going to see?
So most of the ones that I see pretty regularly are impersonating services like Microsoft or PayPal. The Microsoft ones tend to be more traditional phishing, where they're after the user's account username and password. But then some of the others, your PayPal and LifeLock and things like this, tend to be more financially motivated, where they're trying to actually they send you something along the lines of an invoice, and here's the phone number to call if you think this might have been an error. And of course, once they get you on the phone, then they use a lot of social engineering techniques to try to convince you that they are the legitimate organization, which of course they're not. So you get one of these in your inbox, and typically there's a sense of urgency, or it's a topic that you would be interested in. I think we gave the example in the blog of payroll type notifications, but of course invoices and things like this. And a lot of people, they get an invoice that says, "Hey, we just charged your card for $600, and call this number if that's an error." A lot of people are going to see that and be like, "Hey, wait a second, I never authorized a charge for this." What they should be doing is, of course, looking at their credit card statement, or actually going to the site, without clicking on a link or scanning a QR code or calling a number, just to see if that is actually the case. Which, of course, if they were to do that, they would note right away that there was actually no charge made to their card.
Yeah, the other technique that you highlight in the research here is telephone-oriented attack delivery. You all call it TOAD. What goes into that?
So, typically when you're dealing with malicious email, a lot of times the indicators of compromise that might be included inside of that email will be things like the IP addresses, URLs that are contained in the message, things of this nature. Telephone numbers are not necessarily a common indicator of compromise that are shared among security vendors and security services. I know inside of Talos we have a dedicated rule team that works on anti-scam rules, and actually maintain a list of phone numbers that we've seen in malicious emails, so that we can block other emails that might include the same telephone number. But then, of course, you also have the variations on that. I've seen telephone-oriented attack delivery emails where they might substitute a capital letter O for the zero, or an I for a one in the phone number, trying to play tricks to make it look like it's not actually a phone number. And any sort of rules that are just generically looking for phone numbers might fail to catch something that's displayed in that particular way. So the telephone oriented attack delivery emails have become just a lot more common, because while a malicious link might only have a lifetime of, say, an hour or on the order of hours, a telephone number might not get blocked, for several days. And so they're kind of exploiting that sort of gap in the current protection that exists for most anti-spam services. Like I said, they're just not really set up to deal in telephone numbers as an additional indicator of compromise. And threat actors have realized this and have moved towards that. The other reason I think for the telephone-oriented attack delivery is because, if you're looking at it from a purely email perspective, and is this a malicious email? Is this a malicious attachment? Well, the only malicious thing that's in there is going to be the phone number that the victim calls. There's actually no, sort of malicious links that'll take you to a site that downloads malware. It's sort of out of band, if you will.
Yeah, it reminds me of that old, I guess, prohibition of, never let someone take you to a second location.
Yes.
In this case, it's, the phone call is the second location, right?
It is. Or the QR code, right? If you get an email through your organization's email and it's got a QR code in there, you scan it with your phone. Now you're using your cellular device, which is on a completely different network, perhaps not even monitored by your organization.
Right. So what are your recommendations then? How should organizations best protect themselves here?
So there's really two main ways to defend against these sorts of things. One is going to be, of course, on the technical side. We've got our brand impersonation detection engine that we have developed that's looking for things like, logos or copyright claims in attachments, and then looking to see where those messages originate. Someone's claiming to be PayPal by some sort of form of PDF attachment or other, but then it's not being sent from the PayPal organization. That's quite suspicious. So there are technical means to be able to identify some of these, but ultimately, users tend to be the weakest link in any sort of security system. So education of users, letting people know these are the brands that are the top brands that are being used in brand impersonation. And so if you get one of these and it's from one of these brands, maybe you should take a little bit deeper look at it. Maybe it should raise your suspicion level just a little bit. So I think pairing the technical means of stopping this with the educational aspect is really kind of the best way to sort of neutralize these malicious type emails.
That's Jason Schultz from Cisco Talos. We'll have a link to their research in the show notes. Did you know Active Directory is targeted in 9 out of 10 cyber attacks? Once attackers get in, they can take control of your entire network. That's why Sempris created Purple Knight, the free security assessment tool that scans your Active Directory for hundreds of vulnerabilities and shows you how to fix them. Join thousands of IT pros using Purple Knight to stay ahead of threats. Download it now at sempris.com/purple-knight. That's sempris.com/purple-knight. Bad actors don't break in, they log in. Attackers use stolen credentials in nearly 9 out of 10 data breaches, and once inside, they're after one thing: your data. Varonis' AI-powered data security platform secures your data at scale. Across LaaS, SaaS, and hybrid cloud environments, join thousands of organizations who trust Varonis to keep their data safe. Get a free data risk assessment at varonis.com. And finally, it turns out when you ask data brokers what they know about you, the response is often silence. A new study from UC Irvine reveals that about 40% of California's registered data brokers, those folks profiting off your digital breadcrumbs, ignored legally mandated requests for data disclosures. Many others responded with a confusing choose-your-own-adventure of forms, phone calls, and hoop jumping. In a wry twist, these privacy hawkers suddenly care about identity verification, but only when you're trying to opt out. Researchers call it an unintended privacy paradox. To protect your privacy, you have to hand over even more personal information. Critics say the law is clear, but enforcement is limp, and friction-filled opt-outs seem designed to discourage people from even trying. As one expert put it, it's privacy theater, just without an intermission. And that's the Cyberwire. For links to all of today's stories, check out our daily briefing at thecyberwire.com. We'd love to hear from you. We're conducting our annual audience survey to learn more about our listeners. We're collecting your insights through the end of August. There's a link in the show notes. Please do check it out. N2K's senior producer is Alice Carruth. Our Cyberwire producer is Liz Stokes. We're mixed by Trey Hester with original music by Elliot Peltzman. Our executive producer is Jennifer Eiben. Peter Kilpie is our publisher, and I'm Dave Bittner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Krogal is AI built for the enterprise SOC, fully private, schema-free, and capable of running in sensitive, air-gapped environments. Krogal autonomously investigates thousands of alerts weekly, correlating insights across your tools without data leaving your perimeter. Designed for high availability across geographies, it delivers context-aware, auditable decisions aligned to your workflows. Krogal empowers analysts to act faster and focus on critical threats, replacing repetitive triage with intelligent automation to help your SOC operate at scale with precision and control. Learn more at Krogal.com. That's Krogl.com.